Hello, Brian the Fanboy here, and today I'm gonna talk about Full House. Now, the first time I saw an episode of Full House was, I think it was during sometime during 1993, probably during the second half of the season that was running at the time. It was the episode where they went to Disney World. Of course, I didn't know that the new show was called Full House. I just only saw it because it was taking place in Disney World. Now, for for most of my childhood, I really didn't watch Full House on a regular basis because, well, I wasn't interested since when I was a kid, I was mostly interested in watching like kid shows. Of course, the first time I did hear the name Full House was when well, I think it was my third grade class where we were talking about favorite TV shows. We used to do this thing where every week we do a show about favorite something, and yeah, Full House was about in the list of favorite TV shows. And eventually I did see promos, but like I said before, I wasn't interested since you know I was most interested in watching kid shows. Now, when I actually did start to watch Full House, it was I think is when it was either 12 or 13. Since I heard a lot about that series, and I might as well just give it a chance. And after watching reruns, I did enjoy it, and there were moments that made me laugh. And yes, I used to see it with my sister as well. This was back when my mother took the cable cord from my TV in my room because of something I did that made her mad. So I wasn't able to watch TV in my room for a certain amount of months. But anyway, as for Full House, well, I did start to get into the characters. Of course, I didn't watch them in the order I would have watched them in because well back then you couldn't watch TV shows online at your own time like you can now. And I also remember that during the time I was watching Full House, well, reruns were airing on WNDS, TBS, and once I finally was able to watch TV in my room again, I remember reruns aired on the WB56. Now, for the show itself, well, the characters here are first we have Danny Tanner, who was played by Bob Saget, and well, he is a widower who was now an only father with his three daughters. Now, another character is Jessica Subliss, but everybody, even the audience, started to call him Uncle Jesse, and he was played by John Stamos. Now, in the series, Uncle Jesse was Danny's brother-in-law and the younger sister of Danny's dead wife Pam. Next, we have Joey Gladstone, who was the best friend of Danny since childhood. Now, both Joey and Jesse moved into the Tanner house to help Danny raise his three daughters. and they are DJ Tanner, with DJ standing for Donna Jones, and she is the oldest. I forgot how old she was in the first season, but she was close to her close to her teen years. Yes, in the first season. Then we have the second daughter, Stephanie, who's oh you forgot to mention that DJ she is played by Candace Owens. I mean Candace Cameron. Sorry. Yes, and she is the younger sister of Kirk Cameron, the actor who was first known as playing Mike Seaver on Growing Pains. Kirk even appeared as a guest star on Full House, just one episode. But anyway, as we said before, we got Stephanie Tanner, and she's played by Jodie Sweden. And in the first season, she was of elementary school age. I don't know. I think she was in first or second grade, but yes. And then we got the third and youngest daughter, Michelle, who is played by Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. And well, in the first season, she was still a baby. Now, for those who seen Full House during its run, the original run, well, this was mostly the first experience to the Olsen twins. And or earliest movie, the Olsen twins, depending on how old you were as a kid at the time. But yes, and I guess for me, in a way, but I really didn't know much about Full House during most of my childhood, and while many people associated the Olsen twins as Michelle Tanner, back then, I mostly knew them as Mary Kate and Ashley. Partly because, well, when I was in second grade at the Catholic school I went to, we got to see, the Olsen twins video cassette series. Where they were detectives and then there were the body ones. We even were shown their movie, It Takes Two, in the school library. Now, back to Full House. Well, in the first season, Danny was a sportscaster, and Jesse, he was well, his last name was originally Cogran, but starting with the second season and onward, he will go on by Jesse Kasopoulos, on account that John Stamos has Greek heritage, and but he wanted the character to reflect that. Also, Uncle Jesse, he was a musician, and yes, and his nieces, they enjoy his music. Even Jenny and Joey enjoy, listening to him perform. And Joey, he is a comedian who starts stand-up comedy, and he impersonate many voices, especially cartoon characters. And what he was not famous for is Popeye. Yeah, he's been impersonating him. Anyway, and as for the girls, well, they go through what girls usually go through, according to the age. Starting from the first season, like what Digi went through in the first season, as well with Stephanie and Michelle. And let's see, eventually Stephanie was starting to experience some of the things that Digi did as in the later seasons, and Michelle would experience the kind of stuff that Stephanie did in the later seasons, as she did in the early ones. Now we eventually get more characters who were added later on. Plus we got Becky. Originally was called Becky Donaldson, and she was introduced in the second season, where both she Bochi and Danny became the host of a talk show called Good Morning San Francisco. Oh yes, forgot to mention that the show takes place in San Francisco, and the opening would have a footage of parts of that city. Yes, and Jesse became interested in Becky, and both Jesse and Becky they dated and then fell in love and got married. Yes. And of course, eventually after that, they both became parents. And Becky gave birth to twin boys, and they were named Nikki and Alex. And shortly after, they were played by twin boys named Blake and Dylan Willow. That I don't think I said it right, but it's the best I could do. And then, oh yes, and eventually we got TJ's best friend Kimmy Kibler, who was played by Andrea Barber. And then we got another character named oh yes, oh yes, Steve Hall, who was played by Scott Wigner. Wigner, I don't think I said his last name right, but yes, and Scott, he is the voice of Aladdin from the animated Disney movies, which include Aladdin, Return of Jafar, Aladdin the King of Thieves, and the Aladdin TV series. Now, on Full House, Scott and DJ had a romantic relationship that was during the later seasons when DJ was now in high school. Of course, eventually they broke up in one of the later seasons, but at the end of the final season, they got back together, or at least they went to prom together. That was the final episode. Now let's see. Oh yeah, another member of the Tanner household I should mention is Comet, the pet dog, who was well, he first appeared as a newborn puppy when uh when they finally were introduced this is a female colored repeater named Minnie, and after she gave birth, well, the Danner family got to keep one, and of course that was Comet. And we got to see and just like with the girls, the viewers also got to see Comet grow up as well. And some of the other changes that happened in the later seasons, well, let's see. Well, oh yes, but in the early seasons, Jesse he was part of a group called Jesse and the Rippers. I mean, and but in the later seasons, he was kicked out of the band because he was too more focused on with the family stuff than playing it. I remember there's a scene called that without Jesse and Jesse and the Rippers, then it would be called In the Rippers. Yeah, that was funny. Yes, and let's see. Also, Jesse became the owner of this establishment called. I don't remember what it was. Oh yeah, the Smash Club. Yeah, the bit was left to him, and he made some changes, and yeah, there was a in Joey in the later seasons he became oh yes the host of a show called Ranger Joe. When he took over for this guy who was his role model. I forgot his name, but and also both Jesse and Joey they started their own radio program, and it wouldn't be the first time they did work together because in the early seasons they worked on advertisements. But yes, now as much as there were laughs in the series, there were also episodes about serious topics as well. For example, there was an episode where DJ didn't want to eat because she was concerned about her weight, but she eventually I finally got to her about her situation and learned that she can eat she doesn't have to stop eating. Yes, she can lose weight. That exercise and healthy eating, that's all that's needed. And the reason for that episode was because, well, around that time when that episode was made, well, Tracy Gold, who played Carol Seaver on Growing Pains, she went to anorexia, and well, not wanting the same thing to happen to Candice, they made that episode and hoping that it will have some impact on her, so she won't make the same mistake. Another serious topic I should mention is, well, this anti-smoking episode where well there was these girls who were trying to pressure Stephanie into smoking, and well, she wanted to make friends, but she also didn't want to risk her health, and and she talked to well, first she talked to Uncle Jesse and Joey. Of course, she disguised her voice so people won't know who she is. And then when Tenny came to talk to her, and well, he knew it was Stephanie, and so he had to talk about it. And eventually, Stephanie, she decided not to go through with the smoking, and she one of the girls who was part of the group. She met, well, her name is Gia, and yeah, she decided to cut down, and yeah, they became best friends. I think there were more other issues that were talked about. Those important things to talk about, well, for parents to talk about with their children, about them. But anyway, the show lasted for 8 seasons, and I would always watch the episodes whenever the reruns, no matter how many times I've seen them already. And eventually, I would learn more things about the series, like behind the scenes. And well, I think that yeah, I remember there was an episode of E True Hollywood Story where they talked about Full House and things I learned about the show. Oh, I forgot to mention the episode about Disney World. Well, after all the time, I finally rewatched the whole thing, and just both parts one and two, and that's when I learned that was the episode I saw, back in '93. Of course, Disney World wasn't the only two-part episode where they finally traveled. There was one where they went to Hawaii. Yeah, and let's see. Yes, now back to Into Hollywood Service. Yes, the about the making and stuff behind the scenes. Oh, and I remember when there was an episode of Saturday Night Live, or as SNL as they now say. It was a rerun, and it was an episode where Bob Saget guest starred, and he talked about certain words that he could not say on Full House, but he could say on Saturday Night Live. I'm not gonna repeat those words, but I remember there was this kid who came asked for an autograph, and after Bob he wrote on that paper, the kid wrote out the words that he mentioned he couldn't say on Full House. Yes. And then many years later came this Lifetime movie called The Unauthorized Full House Story, which was a movie about the stuff that happened behind the scenes. And one of the things I learned from the movie was that, well, Bob Saget, yes, he did inappropriate humor uh, on set when cameras were rolling, and it was in front of the girls back when they were still, young, and their parents were upset that he was doing that kind of stuff in front of them. And if you ever see that movie, then you will never look at Danny Tanner the same way again. And let's see, oh, and also I seen from the movie I should mention like the let's see, oh yes, they were talking about well, the man, Bob, John, and Dave. Well, there was this report information about who's the most popular guest member from House, and well, turns out that it was the Olsen twins. And later in the movie, during the time when the Olsen twins were, I think, 3 or 4, Jodie, not the real Jodie, but the actress who plays her, she asked, "What? How come to get all the attention?" And yes, yeah, because Full House is the reason the Olsen twins got their celebrity start, and he became famous even after the show finished its run. Where the made-for-TV video series, I mean, made-for-video cassette series, as well as the made-for direct-to-TV video cassette movies, later DVD when they became teenagers, like Passports to Paris and Winnie London, those movies. Resulted in their final movie, New York Minute. Now, back to the Unauthorized Full House story. Yes, well, it got to the where the show was cancelled, and well, in an interview I saw, well, it's because well, it featured Dave Coulier, and he said because people producing TV shows at the time were starting to change, and yes, a show like Full House was no longer something people were interested. I mean, there is still who will watch it, but what was being made at the time, it was had to reflect for what they wanted to see. As well, a new audience who were. But anyway, and then came a reunion series called Full House, where most of the cast did reunite. The only one who didn't appear were the Olsen twins. But one of them saying that, well, let's see, was interested, and the other one saying that she would like to, but the time wasn't right. And unfortunately, we never got to see them reprise the role of Michelle Tanner on Fuller House. But the other cast members were still there. Like, well, in that series, the roles were kind of reversed in a way. And by that I mean that in this series, well, TJ was now a widow. And then, oh yeah, Stephanie and Kimmy moved in to, the royal house. I mean, the other, no, Danny, Becky, Jesse, and Joey did their return as well, and they will appear in the series from time to time. Oh, and Kimmy has a daughter named Ramona, Oh, and as for DJ's kids, well, she has three sons, and they were all the same age the girls were when Full House started. With DJ's oldest son Tommy being like around the age DJ was in. I mean, her middle child. Let's see. Don't remember his name. I can't remember her song, but they were not the same ages that the girls were when the first season of Full House started. And of course, Full House had only 5 seasons. Of course, instead of being 3 men taking care of 3 girls, it was 3 women taking care of 3 boys and 1 girl. Yes, and yeah, the yeah, series had a happy finale, and of course, I don't know why the season lasted for 5 seasons. 5 seasons, while the original series lasted for 8. But yes, and anyway, back to the original Full House series. Yes, I did enjoy it, and so I would like to rewatch the series again. Of course, what is that going to happen? I don't know because there are other shows I want to watch as well. But I will see what happens, in the future. But anyway, I think that's all I can say about Full House in this video. And also, please subscribe to my channel because it will help me a lot. And also, please share this video on social media like Facebook, Twitter, or whatever. So that's it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.